morning, team. My name is Chris Smith. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones. One of the things that I get to do with the chamber is I get to schedule these member spotlight speakers. And today we have an exciting one. She's a veteran service organization. Her organization is Wheelchair for Warriors, but Crystal has had a connection with the military pretty much her entire life. She spent some time in Iraq, as many of us have, and working with the Department of State and with the ambassador to Iraq, John Negroponte. She seems like a serial entrepreneur, someone who's involved in various different things. I'm excited to hear about all the different things that she has going on. Without further ado, I'll pass it to Chris.
I'm Jacob McWhorter. In November 2014, I've been dealing with mitochondrial issues. I've been dealing with a lot of problems, just real weak and kind of just sluggish, and ended up going to the VA and couldn't really get any help, couldn't really figure out what was going on, couldn't get the right testing. So in 2012, I had to get a muscle biopsy done where they figured out that I had been exposed to some kind of chemical or some kind of agent that started mitochondrial myopathy. Took that information to the VA and just started trying to figure out kind of why I was 25 years old, couldn't move, couldn't feel anything. It's been several years now. I'm rated 10% disability, and I've been in the chair since November 2014. This chair was condemned in December. My last chair, the front wheel had literally fallen off, so I took it upon myself to try to fix it because the VA wouldn't come and fix it. So when I went back to them to get fitted for a new chair, I was told that I would no longer qualify for the wheelchair program. I would no longer qualify for any kind of physical therapy. I was on my way to becoming 22 a day. When I found the Wheelchairs for Warriors, it changed my life. They came in, and in a matter of 2 weeks, they were able to do more for me than the VA's done in 4 or 5 years.
My name is Jay Minks. I'm a board of directors for Wheelchairs for Warriors. It's very important that we help fellow human beings, particularly those that have sacrificed life and limb to keep us free. I think it's the least we can do to support them in their endeavors as human beings in society.
They told me to kind of tell a little bit about how much this means. I can't. It's changed my life. It's given me the ability to take care of my kids, to chase my kids, to play with a dog, you know, things that you couldn't do. So we'll see where we go from here, I guess.
Touch the life of a veteran in need today by donating just $22 a month. Visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
So, Jacob's, when you watch Jacob's video and you see Jacob twitching, that's not bad video editing. That is part of his disease, and it's from the burn pits in Iraq. And raise your hand if you know about the burn pits in Iraq. You know, people always want to know why an organization starts. Why does a Veteran Services Network start? Why, you know, all these different organizations, why do they start? Well, clearly there's a need out in the community, right? My co-founder, Heidi Hansing, is an Army veteran, and she and I, you know, wanted to do something to give back to the community. We were each of us independently raising funds and working for politicians. And, you know, after about 25 years of doing that, I realized that they all were lying to me. It didn't take me long, just 25 years, every one of them. And, you know, I was spending a whole lot of time believing in them and working for them. And one day it just hit me, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to start raising money for veterans. I'm going to, you know, go play in my own sandbox where my passions lie, and I'm going to serve those who have served me. And thank you to everyone in this group. You've all served your country, and I'm deeply grateful for that. And I'm deeply grateful that I'm able to be here to share my passion with you. And my passion is you guys. My passion is every single person who has served our country in a uniform, whether it's a veteran or a first responder. So my girlfriend Heidi and I were just kind of complaining to each other one day about all of these different service organizations that we wanted to work with, but couldn't find a fit. We were complaining about this, and I said, we'll just start our own nonprofit. And she said, how? And I said, I have no idea. I have no idea. But look, if a Marine can do it, anybody can do it. Just had to get my jab out to the Marines. You're the ones that eat the crayons, not me. And when I went to Baghdad, I was an Army girl. My dad, 101st Airborne, my uncle, full bird colonel, and I was an Army girl when I went to Baghdad. And when I came back, my affinity now lies with the Marine Corps. They were in charge of my safety while I was over there. So Heidi and I knew that we wanted to serve our veteran community in some shape, form, or fashion. We just didn't know what it was going to look like. And, no light bulbs were going off. And we knew that we were really good at raising money. And so we were just going to raise some money, and we were just going to dole it out to different organizations. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, what my boyfriend of 5 years does for a living is he builds wheelchairs for workman's comp situations. So we're dragging Paul around to all of these different, the Skyball in Dallas. I know you all know about the American Airlines Skyball. So I go to that all the time, and we would drag Paul around, and Paul would say, Crystal, that veteran has had his legs blown off. That is not the right wheelchair for him. And I'd be like, okay, what can I do about that? Crystal, that guy is a Medal of Honor recipient. That's not the proper wheelchair. It doesn't have any support. And I'd go, any idea what you think I can do about that, right? And this went on for about a year. And the epiphany happened when I was at a golf tournament for veterans, and I was standing next to my friend Ryan. Ryan's in a wheelchair. I looked super cute that day, all that in a bag of chips. Had somebody take a photo so I could send it to my shiny new boyfriend because I look so cute. And the older we get, those cute moments, we want to capture them. And his text message back to me was, that guy's wheelchair is horrible. Focus. So when we got home that afternoon, I said, hey, when I send you a picture of me, you're supposed to focus on me. And he goes, oh, baby, you're just so adorable. But listen, that guy's wheelchair didn't have back support. It didn't have seat support. It didn't have this. And I just don't understand all these veterans. And the light bulb went off. I had the light bulb moment. I had the aha moment. I was like, oh, wheelchairs for warriors. That's what we're supposed to do. And he's like, huh, what? God can use you and you don't even know it, right? So I called Heidi, my partner in crime, and I said, hey, I know what we're supposed to do. Wheelchairs for warriors. And she was like, of course, of course. So clearly God had showed us a need, right? We had been shown the need for well over a year. So now it was just time to put all the pieces together. And we have. It was, if you've started a nonprofit, it's no little bit of work. It's that getting that board together. It's getting the people together who have the financial wherewithal and means to support you initially. And so we've done it. And thanks to the support of people like Dave Weaver and like the Dallas Veterans Chamber, we are getting the word out to more veterans that we're here, that we're available, that we are a resource. And, we're learning some things along the way too. We're learning that, we need to vet guys better. We need to say, hey, well, we're not your first stop, right? We're the stop if you can't get the help. The VA is your first stop. It really is their responsibility and their duty. And what we have found is that the VA is pretty good about giving people their first wheelchair. And it might be a bad mamma jamma. It might be everything you need with all the bells and whistles. But that wheelchair might be to get you around the house. That wheelchair might not be for basketball or for sports or for rugby or for downhill sledding or for any other thing. It may not be for fishing and hunting and hiking. So what we've discovered is that we are doing a lot of secondary wheelchairs. Now we are doing some first wheelchairs where the VA they're just not there to help. And our main focus, we started out with our main focus being veterans injured in the line of duty. that's, you get all the bells and whistles from us if you are a veteran injured in the line of duty. And it doesn't necessarily mean combat. It can be a training exercise. But it's just injured in the line of duty. We fly anywhere in the United States of America. We do a custom seating clinic. A lot of these veterans tell us it's the first time they've had one, and they could already be in a wheelchair, but no one has come out there to measure them from elbow to wrist, from the wrist to the tip of their middle finger, measure their head, measure their shoulders, measure their hips from their hip to their knee. So we do a complex rehab seating clinic, and then we design a wheelchair based on their wants, needs, and desires. And it's great to go to where they live and to see how they're living. Oh, well, you have a wheelchair, but you don't have a ramp. So there's an organization that I mentored into success called Operation Ramp It Up. So we can connect them with other service organizations. We don't get too deep in the weeds with it, but if we, if there's something that's just obvious, then we can say, hey, do you need this resource? Do you need, how are you doing? How is your PTS? How's that going? So if you want to connect with us in that way, we're working on a major list of organizations that also help veterans. So then we do all that. We do the video of the veteran. We let them tell their story. Why do you need us? What's the cause? What's the reason that we're here? And then we leave, we design the chair, and then we go back and we present the chair to the veteran. We just presented 2 chairs to Air Force veterans in Florida, in Niceville, Florida, and in another town in Florida, but they're very close to Destin and Fort Walton area. And they both wanted basketball chairs. So they both got court chairs, right? So they have their chair for every day. And if you're a paraplegic and you can still use your arms, but you're like Jacob, we can design a chair for you that works with Bluetooth. So the advances in technology are phenomenal. So Jacob can work his wheelchair with his watch. And we put a smart drive system on the back of the wheelchair, and off he goes, just like, it's crazy. He can zoom around. The chairs go faster than you might think. I've almost ran over a couple of people trying to, work the chair myself. We also build wheelchairs that, oh wait, I have a question. I want some answers. How much do you think a wheelchair cost? This is
18,000. 10,000.
Who said, okay, 10,000.
14,000.
2,500.
Okay, we've never built one for 2,500. The average last year was $12,054. So that takes the average of we'll build lightweight titanium wheelchairs, and we will build transformers. We will build $95,000 wheelchairs that if you're a quadriplegic and all you can do is blink, we can build a wheelchair that will stand you up, lay you flat for pressure relief, send you down the street, all that kind of good stuff. The Cajun Commando wheelchairs, if you look up Cajun Mobility and Cajun Commando, these are the outdoor chairs with the 0 spin. If you tell a guy 0 turn for a wheelchair, he wants it. Just give me the 0 turn thing. And we typically serve men. Men are typically in the combat arena. We've served 2 women, and we've served over 35 men since 2017. So the wheelchairs are phenomenal. We've got all kinds of videos. I've learned so much about wheelchairs that I never even knew I needed to know. We have a veteran, this is a really, really good lesson. It was shocking to me. Eric Morante is a Marine Corps veteran, blown up on a bridge in Iraq, lost his left leg, shattered his left arm, shattered the left side of his face, had reconstruction done. Went to the VA, they gave him a pair of crutches and a 52-pound wheelchair with none of that support Paul was talking about earlier. He couldn't even get the wheelchair through the doors of his mom's house in Houston. He had to, move in with his mom for a while to learn how to adapt. And I couldn't understand why he needed a wheelchair. I mean, you have a prosthetic that you're using, you have one leg, you're walking around, everything looks just fine. And I learned that even though you have a stump, you need to give it some relief. You need to sit down, you need to take some pressure off of it. You can't constantly wear your prosthetic or you'll irritate your stump. It could get infected. If it gets infected and they have to cut more of it off, then pretty soon you won't have enough of a stump to fit a prosthetic. I had no idea. And also his arm was shattered. So he couldn't pick up that 52-pound wheelchair and put it in the back of his truck and then go, drive away. Well, with his 14-pound titanium wheelchair, that's really easy for him to lift up, put in the back of the truck, and then go roll strong, right? And so we've learned a lot about, I have learned a lot about wheelchairs. Paul already knew it all, thank God. And, people always want to know how they can get involved. Well, this is one of the great ways. We love to do public speaking, to share, our story and to share our veteran stories out there so that more people know that we're a resource. I put all of our links in the chat. YouTube, we need, tons of followers on YouTube. I think you need like 1,000 followers on YouTube to have a vanity channel. That's just my goal. I just want that. YouTube at wheelchairsforwarriors.org. And so everything is there. And you can, I know for all of the different organizations, if you have a birthday, you can do a birthday fundraiser for your favorite organization. We're listed as one of Facebook's orgs that you can do birthday fundraisers for. And how many of you know the Amazon Smile thing? So if you're a nonprofit and you're listed with Amazon, you can, every time you shop, go to smileamazon.com and you can choose your favorite nonprofit. And Jeff Bezos will donate 0.000005% of your spend to that organization. And does anybody have any questions?
Wow, that was a lot of amazing information that I didn't know. And what your organization does is fantastic. I just want to say thank you so much for what you do to support our veterans.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say you rock. That is awesome. I mean, we're a nonprofit, and you and I definitely need to connect offline. I said it in the chat, preach, because that's amazing what y'all do.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. On the, I added up about 37 wheelchairs times 12,000 is about $500,000, which is a tremendous leverage in giving back to these troops.
Mhm.
And I guess you're doing that through fundraising, obviously. The second thing is, how do the troops find you, or how do you find the troops in need?
So one of the things that we do locally is we advertise on a local radio station. They're syndicated, and it's so cheap. They're so good to us. And they put it out on their social media, their Twitter. Jesse Kelly's a Marine Corps veteran, combat Marine Corps veteran, and he has a show as well that he shares our mission with. I own a PR firm, so we're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat. So we're out there constantly doing things. And then organizations, like thank goodness, for the Houston Veterans Chamber, for Dave Weaver, for us finding out about this. I speak at Rotaries all over. I speak at Lions Club, but the website, I am a machine on meta tags and data tags and SEO and all that kind of stuff. So our website, Wheelchairs for Warriors, it is what it is, right? So a lot of veterans who get to us, by the time they get to us, it's really, we're their last shining beacon of hope, right? So when you type in wheelchairs, we'll typically be right up there, right? And so if you're looking for a wheelchair and you're a veteran, you'll find us. It's wheelchairs. We have Wheelchairs for Warriors, Wheelchairs for Veterans, we've got all kinds of URLs.
Are you manufacturing the wheelchairs through your boyfriend, or are you buying it third party from a company?
Oh, no. We design the chair, and then Permabil, Tie-Light, Cajun Commando, a U.S. manufacturer manufactures them.
Okay.
We don't have a manufacturing facility for them. We just design them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Based on the veterans. The seat cushions sometimes can cost $350 and up. If you have a veteran that has lost a limb and that veteran is sitting wonky, we give him an air cushion that sits him straight, and that helps with everything, spine alignment and everything. They instantly feel better. Some of these guys who shoot, like do archery, and then also shoot on the Paralympics team that we've designed wheelchairs for them. They need they need stability for their sport. And some of them have told us we don't even get in our other chair. We just stay in our sports chair. It's so comfortable.
Well, Crystal, that was great information. Thank you so much. I want to leave a little bit of time here for any announcements, but man, I appreciate your mission and what you're doing and how much passion you have behind it. I think it's amazing. Everybody, please be sure and go out to our social media channels, share this information with all of the veterans groups that you're connected with. If we all went on there and shared, we could probably reach out to thousands of veterans and they would know about Crystal's organization. I'll bet if on this call right now,